Ramon Salazar. He is the second major villain in Resident Evil 4 that players will go up against. And what I want to talk about regarding this character is his appearance and just how much different it looks compared to the other major villains in the game that have dominant plaga that they carry. Those being Chief Mendez, Krauser, and Sadler. All of their appearances still look for the most part human, but Salazar in his human form just looks so much more, he just looks different. You know, first off, he has the pale skin, like the really pale skin. He has gray hair, and then above all else, he has bright yellow eyes. None of the other characters really share this same connection that he has with the different alterations to his appearance in his human form. And I kind of want to make a discussion talking about this because I think it's a little interesting. Now, I've discussed this with a couple of friends, and some of them have suggested things like it could be his noble blood. You know, maybe his noble blood is the reason that he mutates and looks like that. You know, maybe his blood combined with the plaga had that reaction to his body, and that's why he looks like that. And maybe so. Maybe that there is some sort of connection to that because his, bloodline all the way back 8 generations ago or whatever it was are the original ones to lock away the plaga. So maybe there is some sort of connection to that. Other theories that I've heard friends mention is that it could be his age. You know, his age could have a huge role in why he appears like that, because in Resident Evil 4 we learn that he is 20 years old. However, Sadler had gone on his quest to revive Las Plagas long before Resident Evil 4. That was just when Ashley got involved. So he was probably infected with the plaga when he was like 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there. And so he was extremely young when he received his dominant plaga. And so that definitely could play a role, because when you play Resident Evil 4, you'll see that there are no children, as they were unable to survive Las Plagas and they all died. So it's very possible that Salazar was at the right age where he wouldn't die from the plaga, but he also wouldn't react normally to the plaga, and therefore he got rapid growth, hence why he has gray hair, and now his skin's all pale, and it also gave him the reaction of bright yellow eyes. That is very possible as to why that happened. His age could definitely be a plausible reasoning for that. But the reason that I'm thinking, and why I wanted to make this video, is I think it is specific to his type of dominant plaga that he received. If you look at the other major villains that also have dominant plaga, you'll notice distinct differences between them and Salazar. For one, they all have mutations. Salazar does not. Chief Mendez in the cabin turns into that giant centipede thing after the tank blows up. Krauser eventually mutates his arm, and Sadler, as we all know, becomes this monstrous creature. So they all have their own mutations that they can do at will. Salazar doesn't have that. Salazar's mutation requires he fuse with the Queen Plaga. The Queen Plaga is the giant plaga that is used to create more plaga. So he has to fuse with that in order to have a mutation. He can't just out of nowhere create and form this mutation. He has to actually be in that specific room with the Queen Plaga and fuse with it. That's how his mutation works. So I think his dominant plaga is engineered in such a way that it allows for that to happen, where he is able to fuse with this Queen Plaga and become part of it. I think that's probably what his whole deal is. Another thing that's different between him and the other major villains is all the other major villains have some sort of enhancement through their plaga that they receive. Chief Mendez has super enhanced strength. As we see throughout the village segment, he easily lifts Leon with one hand, choking him and throwing him around. When he first meets Leon and he grabs his kick, he just tosses him like it was nothing. And in the cabin, during the final fight, he easily twists the handles on the 2 doors. So Mendez got enhanced strength. Then you go over to like Krauser, and he got a slew of enhancements. He got enhanced speed, he got enhanced strength, his agility was enhanced. During the knife fight, when Ada shows up, he's able to jump like 10 feet in the air backwards. So he got a crazy amount of enhancements. And then of course Sadler also did. You know, he has enhanced strength as he knocks Leon across the room with one hit, and he's able to absorb bullets and fire them back, as we see in separate ways. And he also has his own version of super speed, as we see in separate ways as well. So all of those characters got some sort of enhancement, but Salazar's just a normal guy. Without his bodyguards by his side, he's nothing. Like, he's super weak. Leon easily injures him with a knife, and he reacts like a normal person. He doesn't just take it or anything like that. He's very weak and doesn't have any sort of mutation or enhancements that he can fall back on his own. So I think it has something to do specifically with the type of dominant Plaga he received. He can still control others that are embedded with a normal Plaga, but he himself doesn't get any of the other benefits like enhanced strength or a mutation that he can do anywhere at any time. And I think that's the big characteristic. Like I said, it definitely could still be something about his noble blood, or it could be, you know, his age. Those are very plausible things, but for this video, I thought maybe it could be his dominant Plaga and his connection with the Queen Plaga and being able to fuse with it. So I wanted to make a quick video just discussing that, because I did think it was an interesting topic, and I had made a video talking about Resident Evil in a while, so I thought, why not make this quick little video? It's interesting, won't take too long, and here it is. Because it's always interests me why his appearance is so much different, because we see a painting of him years back when he was younger, and he looked normal. Like, his hair wasn't gray, he didn't have yellow eyes, his skin wasn't super pale, he looked normal. So it's obviously, you know, something with the Plaga. It's just whether or not it's specifically that Plaga, like I'm saying, or if it's like others have said with his noble blood, or if it's his age and when he received the Plaga, who knows? Or it could be something completely different that I haven't mentioned in this video, who knows? But I wanted to make the video and just talk about it. I'm now going to end this one here, and I shall see you all on the next one. See ya then.